What's going on, my mechanics? I'm Matt. We just got a package from EBMX all the way from Australia. Shout out to Matt for making it happen. I'm excited, so let's install this, guys, and get everything updated and give you guys a proper review. Install is pretty straightforward. You just have to remove your old controller and harness. Any extension wires that you have on there, you're going to remove those. You're going to retain the stock top controller mount. So if you have a back 8000, you're going to want to put that original one back on. So you get the controller installed and all the connections installed down below. You are going to get the supplied Suron harness and basically plug in all these, hook up your regen and your display. Once all that is installed, you can go ahead and button everything up, and then we'll pay attention to going into the app and getting everything configured. Got the display updated and the controller updated. That was pretty simple. Just follow the PDF instructions that EBMX has for you. But once everything's set up, your display should turn on automatically. One thing I did notice on the screen updating procedure is make sure that your phone stays on, because mine kept sleeping and was messing up the upgrade process. So when you're going through all these firmware upgrades, guys, just make sure that your phone is plugged in and the display isn't sleeping. Once you have everything connected on your bike, you're going to want to go into the app and set up all of your parameters. First thing I would do is go under controller calibration, and you're going to want to go and calibrate your throttle, the thumb regen, and you can also scroll down to where it says Hall sensor calibration, and that will calibrate the motor on your bike. Before you do that though, under the general, make sure you select your bike type, battery type. For my current setup, I have a 72 volt that's upgraded, so I have all of my settings preset, my wheel diameter, gear ratio, and so forth. My advice is when you're in the app, just swipe down so it loads the settings, and then make your changes and then click save. Modes and levels, this is where you're going to go in and select all or set all of your modes. Whatever you set here will be updated on the display automatically. Another cool thing about the display in current setup is you can actually hot swap batteries and change a few little settings from the display itself, so you don't need your phone. To do that, you're just going to turn the key. Once the display turns on, just immediately hold the menu button down. Inside the menu button, you have different options where you can come in and select your battery that you're using. You can come in and select your temperature, your speed settings. You can actually set up a password too that will lock the controller in the screen so that your bike won't work without a password. That is really cool. You can also come in here and turn off brake sensors and select your wheel size and all that fun stuff. Or you have a reverse, which I don't have set up.
So it's been a little rocky, I'm not going to lie. Lots of firmware updates, now screen updates, firmware is breaking other firmwares, you know, PC app after PC app, Apple, Android. It's been a ride. Now I knew there was a little bit of testing going into it, but when things didn't work out the first time and my bike wasn't performing right, and overheating and stuff like that, I put everything on hold and I reached out to EBMX and I said, hey guys, just send me a unit that we know is 100% good, put the updated firmware on it, and send it. So 2-3 weeks passed, reached back out, and they said we have another unit. It's a final unit. We have the updated firmware on there for you. Everything's good to go. You should have no issues. So I'm excited at this point. It was sent out. I got it less than a week. Actually from Australia, a black production model unit. Slapped it on, and before the unit actually was shipped from, actually when I was in transition, I was reached back out by Matt, and he said, hey, I have some new firmwares and stuff I want you to load, just to ensure everything was working perfectly fine. And I'm thinking at this point, like, you just updated it, and in less than a week, there's another update that could potentially break stuff. Okay, so at this point, I was like, all right, so I got everything prepared, ready to go, and got the new unit in. I updated it one time out of the box, and I had issues with the software glitching on me, and then sometimes it wouldn't save. And sometimes the screen would just not work. Yeah, so as you guys saw, it hasn't been going good. So currently, as the bike sits, it goes down the road. It starts up fine. We got it to the saving point. I think we're beyond that. I'm not sure. But the Bluetooth is still super glitchy. It's constantly connecting and reconnecting, loading and unloading. But I lost all of my top end. Going from the back 8000 to this controller, I probably lost 15 miles per hour, a little bit more. To give you an idea, I can't get the bike to pull above 55 miles per hour. I asked what was going on, and they said, well, turn up your field weakening all the way. I'm like, well, it's, you know, it's already at 20-30%. My phase current's at 550. I'm at 13,000 watts. If I'm going down the road and I switch from one mode, like 13 to, say, 18 kilowatts at 600 phase amp, if I switch it while I'm going down the road, I don't feel a change at all. So something's going on with the settings. I took the unit off my bike because I wanted to actually enjoy the bike. It got me stranded once. It almost got me stranded again today after updating the firmware, and it failed. Settings were sticking, some weren't. So I don't really know what's going on, guys, but this is my honest review. I've been at this now for quite a while. I had a gold unit, now I have a black production unit, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But that's how it is, guys. All new products, I realize that they're going to have issues. Nothing's going to be perfect. But when you start having production units, set a firmware on it. Don't make the customers update the firmware and break stuff. You know, a firmware is a firmware. Update your app. That way we don't have to touch firmware. I don't know how these controllers work, but shout out to Matt at EBMX. He's been there every step of the way, making sure he sends a new file out every time. But, you know, again, some people, they bought your product because they didn't want issues with KO. They didn't want to be promised the product, and months later, they still don't have it. So please guys, fix this unit. I don't know what you guys got to do. You know, you have MX guys riding these controllers. They might feel great off road, but when you're on road, it doesn't feel that great. So hope you guys like the review, and hopefully we'll get this fixed and I'll come back with a new video.
I said I do have to say, it is pretty sexy though.